music of the Lighthouse is such an integral part of this story for me, which is a true story, by the way. Towards the end of 2020, after we as a world community had already been experiencing several months of the pandemic, my husband and I also were hit with a pretty major existential crisis. I had already been dealing with such high anxiety around the virus, and then to throw another thing on top of it all was this faith crisis where everything I thought I knew to be true was just shattering for me. It's been a really hard day. It's been hard. If you have ever experienced a dark night of the soul, then you know this feeling. It's lonely, it feels utterly hopeless and dark. You question everything, including the people and institutions you thought you trusted. And your normal coping mechanisms are not even there anymore either, and you just literally feel like you're just grasping for something. Anything to bring your head back above water to breathe. For me, I would go down to my special beach, which has this little dock. And I would go there to pray, to think, to meditate, to ask questions, to find any comfort that I could. But I felt nothing. That even made it harder. On one day in particular, it just happened to be really foggy and the visibility was pretty low. But I saw the lighthouse blinking several miles away through the fog. A quick flash of light. Flash. Flash again. Flash. I felt like it was telling me something, that all I needed to do was metaphorically cross these stormy waters and it would guide me, steadfast and reliant. This became my beacon of hope. I started writing the music during this time as well. And the 4-note pattern in the piano represented the steady blinking of the light. Throughout the song, you hear the storm brewing, even thunderclaps and raindrops. I really just wanted to pour my emotions into this piece so that you could hear this turbulent storm that was going on inside of me. Of course, then Glenn Gabriel, my co-producer, joined on the production and created a fierce tempest storm within the orchestra as well.
My name is Glenn Gabriel. I'm a film composer from Sweden, and I work with Jennifer Thomas on Oceans. Each time there's a musician playing the music you've written and the lines you've written, because they really take care of it and they make it alive, and you know this. So not only the production stage, like now we record what's written, but you get into this creative mode, and I think that's really important because, you know, we bring something to life. It's been a year, almost to the day, that I came visit you in Seattle. Yeah. And we were not even close to finish.
I Sverige tycker jag i alla fall. Vi har ju berg och såna här saker, men inte såna här bra.
Taking videos of ourselves.
I am literally confused right now.
There we go.
Here we go. All right, so
there we go. That's perfect.
That's it.
Throughout the song, there is a point where the storm comes in and yet you still hear the constant light flash from the lighthouse. The storm comes yet again until eventually the entire music takes a major key shift to this God moment towards the end of the song. We even added church organ and chimes and heavenly harp glissandos. I wrote the ending that I wanted. In real life, it was almost 2 years in crisis, a year of daily fight or flight alone, lots of therapy.
Just the whole like putting the loss of control in a different bucket.
Daily walks, research, more therapy.
Instead of thinking of all the negative outcomes, trying to think of the positive one.
In the video at the beginning, I display the words, "Everything in this story happened, almost." It was the hardest thing I'd ever gone through, but also now, 4 years later, I would say I would do it all over again to know the peace on the other side of it. During the filming at the Lighthouse with the kayak scenes, the God moment actually did happen in real life. It had been a pretty overcast gray morning, and towards the end of the shoot when I landed my kayak on the shore next to the lighthouse, about 10 minutes later the clouds literally opened up and these glorious sun rays came pouring down just as I had envisioned it and written it into the music. It felt like someone was saying, "You did it. You made it through." I was yelling to Will, who was out in the boat, flying the drone, "Are you seeing this?" And he was pointing to it as well, and I think both of us were pretty much crying. During the 4 years it took to complete my album Oceans, this song was on repeat for much of that time. It, as well as my song Pirates Cove from the album, got me through some very dark moments. I wanted to make the ending for this video universal to anyone watching it, no matter what your story is. Maybe for someone, the lighthouse represents God in all his glory, and he helped them find their way. And maybe for someone else, they realized the light was within them the whole time, and they saved themselves. No matter how this story applies to every listener, the point, though, is there is light on the other side of the storm, and to never lose hope. I'm grateful to have made it through, and I'm grateful to have finally found the answers I needed and to have closed that chapter in my life, to heal and move on.
Calm morning out. I thought it would be flatter than this.
When I was planning how to film this story for a video, I knew there needed to be a visual representation of the boat crossing the storm. Ultimately, I decided this needed to be me because it's my story. I needed this to be realistic and true to myself, and for me, a kayak would be the thing. Just a sitting duck, waiting to be shot. I started sea kayaking when I was about 17 years old, and it's been a big part of my life. I've kayaked a lot of the Pacific Northwest, including the San Juan Islands with the Orca whales. When I met my husband Will, he was really big into scuba diving, and then I introduced him to sea kayaking, and it's been a big part of our family's outdoor life ever since. Well, just tell me I'm being stalked by a harbor seal. Where? At least it's not an orca. One funny part about the video, though, as much of an experienced sea kayaker I am, apparently nobody told me until the end of the film shoot that I'd been holding these sea kayak paddles upside down the entire time.
Okay. All right, Bruce, if you want to get on her right side and just kind of stay, you know, maybe 50 feet behind her for a little bit.
Maybe a little closer?
Yeah, a little more to the right. Let's get her like 10 o'clock or so.
In my own defense, these were not my paddles, and it was the first time using them, but I'm sure no less I'll probably get some kayak enthusiast troll on my video who will be sure to point out that my paddles are indeed upside down. And so, thank you in advance for that.
Getting passed up by the kayak. In fact, if we can keep her kind of maybe almost at 4 o'clock, if that makes it easier for you. That way if she gets ahead of us up to 3, it's okay. Yeah,
Swamp her out.
maybe get like 100 yards ahead of her, then kind of hit the brakes and let all that catch up. That's good. Yeah, she's going for it. She wants it. Do you want more waves? Okay, she wants a storm. She's got a smile on her face. That's good. Yeah, we got it.
I lost sight of it for a second.
You didn't drown.
I didn't barrel roll, I didn't drown, I didn't get attacked by any great white sharks.
And you got your lighthouse over there. Look at that.
It's perfect. Thanks to Bruce and Robbie.
Pilot here.
Made it out.
Captain.
They were awesome.
Another little cinematic switcheroo I thought I'd point out is the fact that we filmed at 2 different lighthouses. In the drone and kayaking shots, you see we filmed at the Dungeness Lighthouse. This lighthouse is a 10-mile round-trip hike or 7 miles by kayak. I've done this kayaking trip a few times before, but for the film shoot, we had some friends take us by boat, and so I wouldn't have to kayak the 7 miles to get there either. But because Will was stuck in the boat, we weren't able to get the close-up shots of me in front of the lighthouse on the shore. So on a separate day, months later, Will and I went and filmed at the Fort Worden Lighthouse in Port Townsend, Washington, which actually is a non-operational lighthouse, but it's accessible by car. It had a similar look with white walls and red roof, but obviously had an octagon shape instead of a round shape. But in the end, it worked out fantastic for the shots. And of course, the weather was beautiful.
No, I mean like a double chin.
A little bit.
No, do it. There's a seal.
Filming this video was no walk in the park either, as for some of the dock scenes, Will was actually recovering from skin cancer removal surgery on his neck. When we filmed the piano scenes at our home, I was dealing with a major infection on several antibiotics and it completely drained my energy. But the show must go on, as they say, and I'm really, really happy with how everything turned out.
We're getting ready to film, and I'm still recovering from the last couple weeks, and I'm so tired. I could just take a nap right now, but yeah. Getting ready just wears me out.
Oh, and those stormy drone shots were over Christmas break at the Oregon coast when that massive coastal storm happened.
Let's go surfing. It's just so crazy. Oh my gosh, look at that. Holy shnikes.
These shots don't convey how big these waves were, but in real life they were about 30 feet high. It was such a cool experience to watch the storm in person, and I'm so glad we captured some of it for this video. And I'm also really happy I didn't have to kayak those waves or I'd be toast. I hope you enjoyed the behind the scenes look at both making the video and also the story behind the music for The Lighthouse. If you found this content meaningful for you, please do consider joining my Patreon community, as it does help me to be able to make these films. Thank you so much.
I'm going to come back to spit. And then if I have to drop it, I'll drop it in the spit.
In the spit?
No, on land.
So we're now trying to find the drone because it ran out of battery way across. It's so stormy. It was like 25% battery, and we had to drive to a different parking lot to see if we could fly it somewhere else. And I'm on drone watch. Isn't ever just like a really simple, let's go get some drone footage. It's always something to get the epic shots for my videos. Ugh, this was our new drone too. Good luck, Will. She looks none too happy about this. Hi, I flew my drone and it crashed into your property. I'm just trying to get permission so that I can go fetch it. You what? We hate drones. Drones, no. How'd it go?
Got permission.
We did?
Yes.
She didn't look too happy.
No, she didn't look happy, but I sweet talked her and did all this sweet talking, and boom, we're in. I was able to.
You did? Where? Oh, it's like the perfect little landing spot. We found it. Yay! Hello, drone.
All safe.
All right. We found it. We have salvaged the precious Lighthouse 5K drone footage.